Rachel, leaving the kitchen, says, "Hey, Josh, do you need help with your homework?" Josh, I'm okay, Mom. Thanks, though. Rachel, you sure? You look like you're struggling a bit. Josh, no, I'm good. Rachel, with a puzzled look on her face, says, You usually ask to help me with your homework. You sure? Josh, hesitantly, I'm good. Rachel walks into the kitchen as the buzzer goes off on the dryer. Rachel yells, Jeremy, get your clothes out the dryer. As she says this, she sees her husband's car pull into the driveway through the kitchen window. She heads to the door to greet him. As soon as the door opens, Benjamin walks in. Benjamin proclaims, I'm hungry. Need food now. Rachel, no, I miss you. No, I love you. Nothing. Just, I'm hungry. Benjamin wraps his arm around Rachel for a tight hug. Benjamin, yeah, I'm hungry for you. Grrr. Benjamin rubs his face into her clavicle. Rachel, you're so corny. Benjamin, but you like it though. Benjamin unwraps his arm around Rachel and takes off his coat and puts it on the coat hanger. Once again, the buzzer for the dryer goes off. Rachel yells, Jeremy, I already told you to get them clothes out the dryer. Why is the buzzer going off again? I told you to take them out 5 minutes ago. If I gotta tell you again, I'm gonna put you in the dryer. Benjamin cuts in, honey, calm down. These past few days, you've been anxious. Are you okay? Rachel, quit telling me to calm down. I told him the first time to come down here and get these clothes. I shouldn't have to tell him again. Jeremy walks in the room, rubbing his eyes. Jeremy answers, Mom, I'm sorry. I was sleeping. I'll get them right now. Rachel answers, Oh, you were sleeping? You know what? Next time you hungry, I'm gonna be sleeping, so don't expect dinner. Benjamin responds, Babe, that's crazy. Rachel makes an angry face and then storms off into the kitchen. Jeremy looks to Benjamin sadly and asks, Is Mom okay? Benjamin responds, Mom is going through something right now. Try not to let it get to you. Go ahead and get your clothes out the dryer and put them away. Jeremy responds, Okay. Jeremy gives his dad a hug and takes a deep breath. Josh walks into the room holding his papers of homework. Josh asks, Dad, don't tell Mom, but I need help with my homework. Benjamin, with a concerned look on his face, takes a look around and then says, All right, head to your room and I'll help you in a second. Benjamin heads to the kitchen and sees Rachel doing dishes. He says to her, Honey, you know I love you. Rachel answers, I do. Benjamin, you've been on edge lately and the kids are getting scared and I'm getting concerned also. Rachel responds, You're right. I'm sorry. I don't know what's been going on lately. My emotions have been all over the place. It's like I'm on edge, like I'm ready to attack. Benjamin answers, Well, listen. Benjamin wraps a necklace around her neck. This is a gift to you to remind you that I'm here for you. And things are going to be okay and I love you. Rachel looks at the necklace. You're so thoughtful. Thanks. I really appreciate you and I love it. Benjamin responds, I'm glad. I'm gonna get the kids together. You finish the dishes and then relax a bit. Rachel responds, Okay, but I need to go to the store and pick up some things for dinner and some supplies for the kids. Benjamin talks. Okay, but I'll come with you. I want to grab some tools. Rachel responds, Okay, after I finish these dishes, I'll lay down for a bit and watch some videos. Benjamin, okay. Benjamin heads to Josh's room to help him with his homework. Benjamin asks, Hey Josh, how's it going? Josh responds, Mom has been yelling at me a lot lately. Is she okay? Benjamin, listen, we'll figure out what's going on with your mom. Be patient with her. It's going to be okay. Josh responds, Okay, Dad. After finishing homework and putting away clothes, the family loads everyone into the car and begins to head to the store. The moon is full and bright. The sky is dimly lit. Benjamin is driving while Josh and Jeremy are quietly sitting in the back seat, afraid to disturb their mother. Rachel is staring at the moon, lost in a gaze. Benjamin looks over to her and sees her glaring at the moon. He then says, You know they consider the first moon of the year to be the wolf's moon. Rachel, still looking at the moon, responds by saying, Oh really? Why did they say that? Benjamin continues, Well, movies make it seem like it's a werewolf thing. Rachel chuckles. Werewolves. Benjamin continues. Yeah, but really it seems to come from a Native American thing, from what I've researched. In the winter, wolves do more howling to communicate. Rachel. So, they like being more social under the beautiful moons? Benjamin laughs. Well, they think it's because of the food scarcity. They need to communicate to organize tactics and spread information. Rachel goes on. Oh, really? How you find this out? Benjamin says. I was watching a movie and it took me down a deep rabbit hole. Like the fact that wolves can smell prey for 1 to 2 miles away. So if you're on foot and they're hunting you, then sheesh, I'm trying to get away. And they can run for miles and miles to hunt down their prey. Jeremy from the back seat chimes in. Cool. Wolves can do all that? Benjamin responds. Yes, they are pack hunters and can chase prey several miles. Josh speaks. I want a pet wolf. It'd be so cool. Jeremy asks. Yeah, and the howling is so cool. Jeremy starts to howl and Josh joins in with him. Benjamin laughs and looks over to Rachel and sees her still staring into the moonlight, lost in a trance. He looks at the boys in the rear mirror and says to them, all right, guys, calm down. They both respond, okay, Dad. Benjamin smiles as he pulls into the parking space. All right, everyone, we're here. Everyone unloads out of the car and begins heading into the store. As they're walking into the store, Rachel shudders. She lets out a moan and then grabs the nape of her neck. Benjamin looks at her and asks, you okay? Rachel, yeah, just gotta chill or something. Benjamin looking her over and grabbing the basket says, okay, so what's first? Rachel thinking says, well, I'm making tacos tonight. Josh interrupts yelling, tacos, yes! Rachel laughs. Yes, so we need some lettuce, shells, meat, taco sauce, tomatoes, and... Rachel stops mid-sentence as if she's trying to hold something in. She hunches over holding herself. Jeremy concernedly yells, Mom, are you okay? Benjamin, trying to comfort her, says, honey? Just then, a yell is heard across the store. Benjamin and the kids look around. The store is full of people walking around, and some people stop to see what the yelling is about. A few aisles down, Benjamin notices a guy kneeling on the floor as if he's about to lose himself. He's facing the ground. Someone comes up to him and sees if he's okay, and he pushes them aside. Right then, the unbelievable happens. His body begins to contort and change. His limbs become longer. His skin grows thick hair, and his face begins to protrude forward. Benjamin whispers to himself, am I really seeing this? The man pauses and then pops up looking around. He was no longer a man, but now a werewolf. A lady next to him begins to scream and yell. The werewolf looks at her with anger and ferocity in his face. He pounces on her and begins attacking her. Everyone in the store begins to yell and run towards the exit. People are falling all over each other, one over another, fear is spreading. Benjamin, seeing this, looks to Rachel and sees her transforming, just like the man before. He grabs Jeremy and Josh and puts them into the shopping cart. He then looks back at Rachel and sees that she's no longer the human she once was. Now, she was a werewolf. He whispers, Rachel? She looks around with her face growing angrier and angrier. It was as if the mere thought of being in the situation was triggering her. She began to snarl and growl. Josh, looking to his mom, yells, Mom! Rachel looks at him with much anger in her eyes. Benjamin, frozen in place, looks at the now beastly wife, perplexed at the situation and unsure of what to do. A woman running and screaming bumps into Rachel and then into the basket. She yells at Benjamin and the kids as she slowly begins to transform. Rachel, already looking viciously angry, grabs the woman and throws her away into the aisle and then pounces onto her, mauling her. Benjamin sees this, runs with the basket and the children to get away. Jeremy and Josh watch as their mom destroy this woman as they slowly fade out of view. Seeing their mom in this way sets a fear in them as they take in the situation. As Benjamin pushes them in the car, making their way to the exit, their sons are looking around, seeing the chaos around them. Benjamin is trying to avoid people everywhere. A man is on the floor pleading, No! No, 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 no. And his arms are up as a werewolf closes in on him. A little child werewolf pounces on her mom and growls in the clothing aisle. A woman throws a can of food at a werewolf, attacking their friend. The werewolf stops and looks at her. All these scenes are happening so fast. Looking at the exit, there is a pile of bodies at the exit. Benjamin, thinking about what to do next, is surprised by a man slamming into the basket and tumbling over everyone. The boys fall out the basket and slide across the floor. A werewolf pounces over them onto the man. Benjamin grabs the boys and runs towards the exit, slowly climbing over the bodies. There's a crowd of people rushing to the exit who are struggling to get out. Some people have fallen, they're bumping into each other. It's crazy chaos. While hopping over the pile, a few werewolves are running to get outside. There are howls that are sounding out as they continue to make it outside. He looks around in the parking lot and sees people trying to make it to their cars. Some cars are flipped over, some cars are damaged, and some cars are dented. He looks to see a family as they run, and they both collide with the werewolf. The werewolf looks at them and growls. Then another werewolf snarls at them from behind Benjamin. Benjamin looks back to see them growling at him in a vicious snarl. The other werewolf looks at him and then looks back at the family. Then the werewolf that's behind Benjamin leaps over Benjamin and starts to attack the other werewolf. They begin to wrestle around in the parking lot, banging up cars and destroying vehicles. Benjamin sees this, looks at the werewolves, and looks at the family. The family is scared. He looks at the children crying, looking at their faces, then looking at the werewolf that's trying to help. It's as if they have some kind of connection. Benjamin grabs his son, and they both continue to run. He's running with both of them in his arms. He makes it to the car and tells them to get in. Benjamin gets in the car and starts it. As he pulls out, the werewolf hits the back of the car. Jeremy and Josh scream. Benjamin puts the car in drive and floors it to get out of there. As they take off in the rearview mirror, you can see the two werewolves still fighting each other and running around. One of them finally puts the other down and puts his foot on their chest and gives a howl. And he looks at the family. As he looks towards the family, they fade away out of view, and Benjamin continues to drive. Driving home, the streets are a mess. There are cars off the road, ditched. Some cars are in collisions. There are people in cars that are no longer moving or destroyed. There are doors ripped off of cars. Jeremy and Josh looking around, take in the scenery. And Jeremy asks Benjamin, "Dad, what are we doing? What's going to happen?" Benjamin tells them, "Well, first we're just going to get home and try to get things situated. Try to find a safe spot, stay away from the windows. Yeah, we'll figure it out. Just give me some time to think." And Josh asks, "But what about Mom?" Benjamin pauses. "It's going to be okay. Things are going to work out. She transformed and killed someone right in front of us. Will she do the same thing to us if she finds us?" Benjamin answers, "Your mom's not going to hurt you, okay? She loves you and she cares about you." "Yeah, but she was being very mean recently. Is it because of this? Huh?" Josh responds. Benjamin answers, "Yeah, it seems like it. Yeah, it's a crazy situation, but just like with any other story, they usually turn back. So let's just make it through the night and tomorrow we'll have your wonderful mom back, okay?" Jeremy responds, "If you say so, Dad, but what do we do if she shows up and tries to kill us?" Benjamin responds, "Your mom isn't going to try and kill you. And if she does show up, I'll take care of it. You two just stay in a safe place and I'll take care of everything, okay?" "Okay?" Benjamin asks. Jeremy and Josh responds with, "All right." Benjamin trying to comfort his kids, just thinking about what to actually do if the situation arises. He really loves his wife, and he knows the situation is completely out of his and her control. Nothing can be held against her for what is happening, and seeing the carnage and destruction all around, it's hard to know what can really happen. As Benjamin is thinking, he drives around and sees a pack of werewolves who are running together, sniffing at each other. They look over and see another group of werewolves, and they all rush towards them. Benjamin keeps driving. He says, "Man, this is worse than a zombie apocalypse. Who would have thought that the end of the world would come through werewolves?" Benjamin then says to the kids, "Well, on the bright side, there's no school tomorrow." They start to smile a little bit as they look out the window. Benjamin whispers to himself, "I'm not sure we'll have school for a long time. How many people are going to survive this? What structures could survive this? So many things will be destroyed." As they continue to drive, they head over a bridge over the highway, and they see cars everywhere, traffic jams, and nobody's able to drive. He looks down the street trying to maneuver past the cars that are smashed up in the road and some on the side of the road. He thinks to himself for a moment. He looks at his sons, and then he looks out the window. All of a sudden, he sees a rush of werewolves run past, flipping cars and destroying cars, all headed like they were going somewhere. His sons look at him and ask, "Where are they going? Why are they in a rush to?" He looks around and thinks, "I don't know." And then he pauses for a moment. They might be going home. He puts his brakes on, and then he turns around and he drives back to the store. The parking lot is a wreck and looks deserted. He drives past the front of the store. He doesn't see anything. Benjamin pulls into the parking space to not draw attention to himself. He looks around to make sure the area is clear. He looks to the back seat at Jeremy and Josh and says, "Boys, listen, I'll be right back. I need you to both stay in the car and not make any noise." Josh cries, "Don't leave us." Jeremy asks, "Yeah, let us come with you." Benjamin shushes them. "I need you both to be quiet. Most of the werewolves have left. I think they're all heading to their homes or somewhere familiar to them. We can't make it home like this on the roads, and being the only car driving around would draw too much attention." Jeremy asks, "So what are we supposed to do?" Benjamin answers, "I'm going to get some supplies and bikes so we can move around better. After I get everything together, I'll come back and get you two." Josh cries, "Let us." Benjamin cuts him off. "I need you to be quiet. There are a lot of scents around here from other people, so we'll be able to stay hidden. But you need to be quiet or else they'll hear you. Do you understand?" The boys respond together, "Yes." Benjamin continues, "Okay, now I'm going to go inside. No matter what you hear or how close you hear them to you, do not make a sound." Benjamin reaches behind them to grab a cover off the back. "I want you both to stay under this cover and stay between the seats. I love you both and I'll be back." "Love you too, Dad," the boys respond. Benjamin, "I'll leave the car on so you don't get cold. I'll be back." Benjamin opens the door and gets out the car. He closes the door and while crouching, heads towards the entrance of the store. He gets close and doesn't see any werewolves. He gets closer and sees that the automatic door is stuck open with people in the way. He slowly steps around to be careful not to make any disturbances. He heads to a kiosk at the entrance of the lines and grabs a few different types of batteries. He then heads back to the store through the aisles. He hears the werewolf drops and stops moving. In the distance, there is a werewolf in the food aisle, breaking cans of food and throwing them on the ground. Benjamin hears the repeated dropping, looks up a bit, sees nothing, and continues to the back. He makes it to the electronics section of the store and searches the aisles. He finally finds what he's looking for. The glass that will hold the drone is broken. He takes the drone out, unboxes it, and boots it up. He flies the drone to the corner of the store to get a good vantage point of everything in the area. He heads to the toy section and grabs an RC car. He opens the car and places the batteries inside. He looks at the drone again to see if it's safe to move. He can see the werewolf still moving, trying out different canned foods and throwing them around. He also notices a werewolf eating meat out of the freezer section. He moves to the main aisle that gives a clear line of sight to the exit opposite of the one he came in. He sets the car down and heads back to the toy section. Using the drone screen, he navigates the RC car down the aisle. Once midway there, he begins to make the RC car honk and make noises. Both werewolves take attention and start heading towards the area of the RC car. Once they have gotten close enough, he begins to make the RC car drive forward. The werewolves chase the car out of the store's entrance, slipping and sliding along the way. He continues to make the RC car drive as fast as he can make it go. After some time, he can no longer hear the RC car or the werewolves. He drops the RC controller and checks the drone footage. He flies it around the store to make sure the area is clear. After clearing the area, he heads to the bike section to look over them. He grabs a bike with a basket and a wagon. He says to himself, "These should do well. Need to grab some things to help us stay warm and survive the night." He then heads to the camping area. "Okay, I'll grab a tent, sleeping bags, machete, this kerosene heater. This camping food should probably grab some camping pot to cook it in. And we most definitely need these hand warmers. It's going to get real cold tonight." Benjamin checks the drone again and sees that the coast is all clear. He takes the bikes to the back of the electronics section and grabs a few walkie-talkies and earpieces. He flies the drone outside and sees the parking lot is a mess. Cars flipped over, bodies here and there, of werewolves and humans. In the distance, you see the two werewolves crashing into each other, running away from the store. He heads out of the store to grab Jeremy and Josh. Josh and Jeremy are still under the cover waiting for their dad to return. Josh asks Jeremy, "You don't think he died, did you?" Jeremy responds, "No, he's okay. We just have to wait." Josh, "But that noise sounded like werewolves fighting before they ran off. Do you think they were like fighting each other?" Jeremy, "I don't know. Maybe they were just fighting each other." Just then, Benjamin opens the door, scaring the boys. They both yell, "Ah!" Benjamin, "Shh, I'm here." Jeremy, "Dad, you made it back." Benjamin, "Of course. What did y'all expect?" Jeremy jokes, "Josh thought you were eating." Josh protests, "Nuh-uh." Jeremy giggles. Benjamin interrupts, "I'm glad you two are okay, but we need to stay quiet. Follow me and don't speak until I tell you it's safe, okay?" They both nod. "Okay." Benjamin, "Good." They all head into the store. The boys are mesmerized by the carnage they see. They both carefully follow Benjamin as he leads them to the back of the store. He takes them to the bikes, and just then the lights go out. The boys jump. Jeremy whispers, "The lights!" Benjamin, "Yeah, there has gone out in many places. Stay here, I'll be back." Josh refuses. "Again?" Benjamin, "It's okay. I'm just gonna go get a flashlight. Just stay here. It's only 2 hours over." Benjamin heads over to grab a flashlight as the boys sit there and wait. They hear something drop at the front of the store and wonder what it is. They look at each other scared as their father returns with a flashlight. He whispers to them, "Follow me." They all head further into the back of the store where they find the restrooms. "Hold the door open." The boys hold the door open as he pulls the bike and the equipment into the bathroom. The light brightens up the area. He pulls out a tent and begins to set it up. "All right, we're going to camp in the bathroom tonight and see how things are in the morning." Josh, with a concerned tone, asks, "What about Mom?" Benjamin is quiet for a moment while he sets up the tent. He then says, "Things will be okay. We just need to make it through the night. In the morning, we'll see how things are and head home." Josh, "But what if Mom is still a wolf?" Benjamin responds, "We'll figure it out. One step at a time. For now, we'll get the bathroom taken care of. We'll be okay. And you know how it goes. When the full moon goes away, everybody turns back to normal." Jeremy with hope, "Really?" Benjamin changes the subject. "I need to get a few more things to make sure we're safe. I need to make sure we can keep this door closed. I'll be back. Stay in the tent." Benjamin heads back into the store. The battery for the drone is almost dead. He flies it outside to see if everything is okay and still clear. He grabs a basket that's close by and goes to get another drone. He starts the drone and sends it into the air to watch the store as he heads to grab some containers, a water hose, playing cards, and 2 board games. This should hold us over for tonight. Wait, one more thing. Benjamin heads to the sporting aisle and grabs a crossbow along with some arrows. These are just in case. Hopefully we don't need them. Benjamin looks into the drone camera and then heads back to the bathroom. He opens the door. "Hey guys, I got some things you might like." As he looks up, he drops everything and sees a figure standing in the bathroom. "Who are you?" Josh, "Dad, it's okay. They were hiding in the bathroom like us." Stranger, "I don't mean any harm. I was just trying to stay safe. I hid here when everything was going crazy." Benjamin, pointing an empty crossbow at the woman, looks at his sons and then back at the woman. "I don't have time for this. Okay, help me bring everything in." Stranger, "Thank you so much." Benjamin, "Thank me after all this is over, but for now, we need to fill up these buckets to use them as a barricade for the door." Benjamin sets 2 buckets side by side to jam the door. He opens the water hose. "Grab this end. I need you to keep the water running. We need to fill up these containers to add weight." Josh, "Open the mattress and let it decompress." Jeremy, "Take the arrows out of the packages and screw them tips on them." Jeremy and Josh respond with, "Okay." The stranger speaks. "You really know what you're doing. How did you think of all of this?" Benjamin responds, "I'm just thinking of things up as I go. Maybe it's God's leading me." Stranger, "I don't know, but I hope it works." Benjamin, "Yeah, for all of our sakes." Josh interrupts, "Dad, the mattress is ready." Benjamin, "Okay, good. Slide it between the door, the long way." Stranger, "This water is going to take a bit of time to fill." Benjamin responds, yeah, but what can we do, right? Stranger, yeah. Benjamin asks, so, how did you end up back here anyways? The stranger thinks for a bit and then speaks. Well, when everything started to happen, I was in the back of the store by the frozen meats. I started to hear yelling and noise, so I walked around the corner and see what was going on. People were rushing to the door, but I also seen werewolves everywhere and in between. The back aisle was clear, and someone was being attacked next to me. I didn't think I could make it to the front exit without being attacked, so I decided to head to the restroom and hope no one was in there. Benjamin interrupts. So how did you end up in the men's restroom? The stranger chuckled. Well, I headed to the woman's first, and as I got to the door, I began to hear noises like someone was in pain. I wasn't sure if they were being attacked or transformed, so I decided to check the men's restroom. Everything was quiet, and all the stalls were empty, so I just came into the stalls and sat down. Benjamin with a concerned look on his face. Wait, so what happened to that person you heard in the women's restroom? The stranger responds, I'm not sure, but I heard the door open and then growling sounds. I buried my head into my arms and just hoped they didn't come in. After some time, the growling slowly faded away. I'm not sure if they left the store or not. Kinda haven't left this restroom since. Benjamin asks, how long did you plan on staying here? The stranger responds, I don't know, maybe a long time. I was just too scared to go anywhere. Benjamin laughed and Jeremy cuts in. Good thing we showed up so you wouldn't be alone, huh? The stranger responds, absolutely, especially since it's getting cold. I'm not sure if I would have survived the night, honestly. Feels like it's about to start freezing. Benjamin says, yeah, that's true. Josh, you take over water duty. Keep waving your hand over this. It's a sensor to keep the water going. I need to get this kerosene heater started so that we have heat. Josh answers, okay, Dad. Jeremy says, Dad, all the arrow tips are screwed on. What do you need me to do next? Benjamin answers, good job. Help. Excuse me, what's your name? The stranger responds, it's Jessica. Benjamin responds, I'm Ben, and these are my two sons, Joshua and Jeremy. Jessica says, nice to meet you. The boys respond together, nice to meet you too. Jessica compliments them. They are so well-mannered and so cute. The boys blush and look at each other. Benjamin laughs. Thanks. We do the best we can. Jessica assures him, well, you're doing a great job. Benjamin looks intensely at the heater. Thanks. He says solemnly, here we go, everyone. We have heat. Everyone rejoices as the heat fills the room. How are the buckets coming? Jessica responds, slow. Benjamin, things seem to move really slow when you're waiting and anxious. Let me look at that crossbow. Jessica focusing on the crossbow. That thing was empty the whole time? Benjamin laughs. Yeah, had to do a bluff to save my children, just in case. Benjamin winks. Josh excitedly asks, Dad, can I try it? Benjamin, we'll see after I figure out how to use it. Jeremy looks at Josh and then at Dad. And me too? He asks. Benjamin responds, we'll see. I need to see how this thing works. Jeremy, unscrew one of the arrows. I don't want anybody getting mortally wounded. Jeremy responds, okay, Dad. Jeremy looking at the bow. Okay, I need to pull this. Benjamin flexes as he pulls the drawstring. Okay, y'all. Do not try to load this without me. Maybe after all of this. Josh responds, Dad, really? No. Jeremy adds, why not, Dad? Benjamin looks at the boys and then he pulls the trigger to empty the bow. Here, try to pull the string. Josh grabs the bow and tries to pull the string. It's tough. Benjamin laughs while watching. As Jeremy running the water asks, can I try? Benjamin looks at him. Josh, run to the water while your brother tries. They swap places and Jeremy tries to pull the string. He tugs and pulls and soon sees how hard it is to pull the bow. Yeah, it's super tough to pull. Benjamin says, yeah. This is a one-time shot. Hopefully we don't get into that situation. As he examines the bow, after all the tubs were filled, everyone entered into the tent. Benjamin pulls out some Uno cards for everybody to play the game. Jessica notices and asks, okay, so what are the rules for Uno? Benjamin laughs and tells her, all right, so if someone places down to draw anything, you don't have to draw. If you have any form of draw of something. Jessica responds, so it doesn't skip me automatically and double up on the next person? Benjamin, it doubles up on the next person, but you can save yourself by placing it down on your turn. And the same thing for skips. If you have a skip, You place it down and it skips the next two people. Jessica, can the second person avoid a skip by playing skip? Benjamin, no. If you're skipped, then you're skipped. There's nothing you can do about it. Jessica, can you avoid a reverse? Benjamin, no, same thing. A reverse is a reverse. The amount of reverses you place down changes the order though. And you can also place down more than one skip, draw, and reverse at a time. Jessica laughs. Okay, gotcha. Jeremy excitedly says, this is going to be so fun. Josh asks, yeah. And then they hear a huge bang. Everyone pauses. Another bang hits the door. Josh, concerned, says, Dad? Benjamin gets out of tent and says, yeah, I stay here. He looks at the door and there is a wolf trying to get into the restroom. Everyone stay quiet and go into the last stall. He grabs the machete and the crossbow and heads to the door, staying out of sight of the opening. Bits of water are spilling out of the buckets, but the door is holding. After some time of banging stops, everyone takes a sigh of relief. Just then, an even heavier bump thumps against the door, and it opens enough for the werewolf to get his arm in and peep with his eye. It begins to growl ferociously while clawing at the wall. Benjamin yells at it, leave us alone! And the beast seems to grow even angrier. Benjamin looks at the werewolf and then to the back of the restroom, thinking about his sons. He shoots an arrow at the werewolf. It yelps and becomes even more angry, trying to get in. He tries to reload another arrow. These take way too much time to load. He shoots it again at the stomach, and it becomes angry and creates a bigger opening into the bathroom. Benjamin's eyes gets bigger, and something just snaps at him. He begins to hack away at the werewolf's arm, leaving deep gashes. The werewolf gives him the most infuriating look and draws his arm back, then reaches in with his other arm trying to grab Benjamin. Benjamin swings the machete at the werewolf's arm, cutting it here and there. The door is opening more and more as the werewolf forces his way through the door. Benjamin gets a good swing and cuts the werewolf very deeply. It roars and breaks through the opening, rushing towards Benjamin. Benjamin moves out of the way as it bangs into the nearest stall. He looks to the back of the restroom and then back at the werewolf and tells it, you could never kill me, and runs out of the restroom. The werewolf follows him out of the restroom into the store. He runs down the toy aisle, and the werewolf is close behind him, slipping and sliding along the way. He makes it to the clothing aisle and is diving under racks. The werewolf is tossing everything out of the way, determined to catch up with Benjamin. He then runs through the storage bin aisle and throws them all over the floor as he runs by. The werewolf is becoming angrier and angrier as he gets closer and closer. With little time to think, Benjamin is on a mission to keep out of reach of this monster. He feels the monster gaining in on him and grabs shopping carts. And then he pulls it back and throws it into the werewolf and then dashes to another aisle. The werewolf falls over the basket and rolls down the aisle. It gets up leaking blood everywhere and looks both ways for Benjamin. It lifts its nose into the air, sniffing for him. It catches his scent and begins to try to find him. Sniffing the ground, it trots down different aisles. It pauses every now and then looks in different directions. It's eventually led to the garden section of the store. It takes a deep whiff and then begins to move down the aisle. You can hear its claws tapping with every step. It pauses and grins as it turns the corner. Benjamin surprises it by spraying it with pepper spray and baby powder. It reaches for its face and tries to wipe the materials off as it stumbles around. Benjamin picks up the machete, turns and runs out of the garden section, stumbling into another werewolf. He freezes his head. Oh no, but he notices a familiar necklace around it. The other werewolf comes around the corner with the face ready to rip Benjamin to shreds. He looks back and forth at both werewolves. Well, I did what I could. He raises his machete to the level of his stomach, prepared for the worst. The new wolf leaps into his direction, hopping over him onto the other werewolf. They both are tussling back and forth. The new wolf bites the neck of the other wolf while its claws sink in. The battered wolf roars and claws back, but the new wolf just sinks his teeth in deeper while holding his head still. The battered wolf finally starts to lay down and eventually stops moving. The new wolf releases the grip and then looks into the direction of Benjamin. Benjamin looks at the necklace and yells to her, Rachel! The wolf tilts his head to the side and then gazes into Benjamin's eyes. Rachel, remember what I said. I love you and things are going to be okay. I will always love you. The werewolf takes a step closer to him, and Benjamin braces himself. Her face grows from angry to joyful as she begins to lick his face. Benjamin laughs and gives her a hug. Love you, he whispers to her. They both start walking back to the restroom. Benjamin looks at the beastly Rachel, amazed at what he's seeing. To think his beautiful wife became this gigantic monster that has ripped multiple things to shred. She looks at him, smiles, licks his face, and then laughs as they continue to walk. Rachel, he calls to her. Can you understand what I'm saying? Rachel looks at him with a smile and licks him again. Benjamin smiles as they come to the door of the restroom. He pushes the door open and calls out, Josh, Jeremy. They both respond, Dad? Benjamin, yeah, it's safe, come out. The boys run out and dash to hug their dad, but they see the towering wolf next to them and they scream. Benjamin, it's okay, that's your mom. She helped me take care of the other werewolf. Rachel blushes. Josh and Jeremy look at her carefully. Rachel gets on her knees and gives a puppy dog look. It's okay, come on. They both slowly walk towards her until they are right in front of her. She pushes her nose against their faces and begins to lick them. They both begin to laugh. Josh giggling. I never thought mom would be like this. Jeremy also giggling. Yeah. Rachel takes them in her embracing hug. Just then, Jessica comes out of the stall and Rachel looks up at her. Rachel's face grows very angry. She begins to growl and her eyes lock onto Jessica. The boys yell to Rachel, Mom, no, she's nice. Rachel doesn't hear any of their words. She stands to her feet ready to rip Jessica to shreds. Benjamin looks at Rachel and then at Jessica. Benjamin tells Jessica, get back in the stall. Jessica runs back into the stall. Benjamin runs between the two of them and tries to cut the line of sight. Rachel, look at me. She looks at him for a moment and then back in the direction of the stall. Josh and Jeremy call out to her crying, Mom, Mom. Rachel looks at her kids and then at Benjamin and begins to calm down. Benjamin, understanding the situation, responds, Boys, we have to leave the restroom. I'm not sure your mom can control herself enough to not attack Jessica. Jeremy, but she remembered not to attack us. Benjamin says, yeah, but family is the pack. Jessica is not family. To your mom, she's a threat. So listen, Jessica, we're going to leave you here and head out. It was nice to meet you. And please don't respond. I don't want to have to risk trying to calm her down again. You have everything you need. We'll grab more things when we get back outside. All right, boys, let's go. Come on, Rachel. They all head out into the store to grab more equipment to stay warm through the night. Benjamin takes Rachel to get some sheets, and they wrap them around her like a dress. He takes a look at her and chuckles at the work he's done. They head back to the boys and snuggle in a tent. They all lay down, and maybe because of the comfort of having each other and the energy spent through the night, they fall right to sleep. In the morning, Benjamin wakes up and sees Rachel in her human form, and laying right next to her are the boys. He lays back down, seeing the store light up from the sun, and smiles that they made it through the whole ordeal.